Om Namo Narayanaye. Om Namo Narayanaye. Om Namo Narayanaye. Om Namo Narayanaye.
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि।
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्।
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्यम् कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्य वर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। சீரொன்று தூப்புல் வேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
We are on the second chapter. So, Dvitiyaha Adhikaraha. Again, the many chapters are named in many ways. In poetry, prose, and so on. Poetry generally Sargaha. Sargaha means creation. It is poet's creation, poet's independent, voluntary creation. We say he is the God of creation, Brahma. Kavihi Brahma.
He is more than Brahma.
Poet is one-faced Brahma, not four-faced Brahma. So Adhikaraha meaning right, as we understand. Adhikaraha meaning right, R-I-G-H-T. In the right, R-I-T. So we have a right in the right. So Pancaratra Agama, so it should be followed by a temple priest strictly. And then, so this is, of course, Adhikaraha. Adhikaraha does not mean power, as we say in Tamil. It is not what we call bossing over somebody. So, Dvitiyaha Adhikaraha. So, already we have seen some points on the five-time worship, five-time action, and then the most important of the five-time action is meditating on the essence of the two-sentence spell, namely called Dvaya Mantraha, that all of us know. Now we are talking about the last of the fifth action. So everywhere, 24/7, 365.25. So all this will have the thought of, remembering of, or rather meditation of the meaning of the two-sentence spell. Sriman Narayana Charano Sharanam Prapadye Srimate Narayana Namaha. So go deep into it while you are performing physical action. So yat cha anyat uktam, yat which cha and anyat something else uktam said, yoga shaktav. Now what is the purpose of the last, rather the fifth kala prakriya is called, we must get the power. The power of meditation must be in us. We must become all Vishwamitras. That's very important. And finally achieve the status called Brahma Rishi from the mouth of sage Vasishtha. The spiritual sage, what is called Manasa Putra of the Lord Sriman Narayan. Out of the 7 sons born out of the heart of the Lord, the first one is Vasishtha. So Vasishthar Vayal Brahma Rishi. So we must get the power. So power of, what we call, power of service, power of Kaikarya. So Yoga Shaktav. Yoga Shaktav. Yoga is meditation. Yoga, by the word, literally means joining. So attach, combine. What do you attach? You combine your individual soul, Jivatma, to Paramatma. So you put it together. You put both together, namely, our soul, don't call it our soul, is his soul. So Jivatma is his soul, S-O-U-L, and then his soul, again, H-I, H capital, his soul. So both of them are his souls, his property. Therefore, yoga shakta. So in the matter of power of yoga, meditation, tasyeva upayatva svikaraha. So we have to accept only that kind of this means. Means in the sense, again, the road to the destination is again Sriman Narayana, and therefore, again, Pancha Prakriya of Pancaratra Agama, again, as said by Sri Ramanujacharya in Sri Sharanagati Gadyam. So our attitude must become one with the words of the spirit of Ramanuja's devotion. So tasyeva upayatva. Tasyeva meaning its, ITS. And also meaning tasya is his, namely Lord Sriman Narayana's. Upayatva svikaraha. So acceptance is very important. Then we must also have confidence in that, faith in that, full faith in that. So prapnoti iti. It's not a past tense, it is not a future tense, it is a present tense. Prapnoti. Now the success is at hand, meaning the power of meditation enabling us to join the individual soul with the Supreme Soul is at hand, is present now. Prapnoti iti. See, people have gone to Vaikuntha. They are called Nityasuris. Nityas are different from Nityasuris, though they can also be called Nityasuris, namely 3 Nityasuris, namely main Nityasuris, Adishesha, Garuda, and Vrishaksena. The serpent, the kite, and the chief of army staff, security, plus the Panchayudas and the jewels on the Lord's Divya Mangala Vigraha, that is divine figure. So all other Nityasuris, though they are called Nityasuris, they are permanent Nityasuris, whereas the souls, the Jivatmas, the individual souls who have gone there as Nityas, as Nityasuris in the Vaikuntham, namely otherwise we call it heaven, so Paramapadam and so on. They are also permanent residents. But sometimes all of them, without any exception, are asked to incarnate in the earth. So the Nityasuris, namely the Jivatmas, the souls, individual souls, are also asked by the Lord to take birth in the earth, on the earth. Adishesha takes the incarnation as Lakshmana, and he is also taking the same in another incarnation as Balarama, the elder brother of Lord Krishna. Then Garuda has no role except Periyalvar. Garuda takes the incarnation as Periyalvar. And then Vishwaksena is Nammal. So there are only two incarnations by these two. Whereas Adishesha takes two more. Then the individual souls take the what we call Acharya's roles. And the Ayudhas, the weapons, the arms, ARMS, also take incarnation. So Kaustuba Mani, what you call the jewel, the gem, also takes Kulashekara Alvar's incarnation, and so on. So what you get is totally meaning that we believe in all this, and then we believe it. The time has arrived that we will have the victory in service. That is the main point here. So tadapi mandam. But our belief is little less. We feel it is slow. We feel it is slow. It is dead slow. We are eager to do the service, but the opportunity to do the service is not at hand. Mandam. It is little dull. Meaning the speed is not as good as Chandrayaan 3. Chandrayaan 3. So Swayoga Mahime Pratyakshita Tattvatrayanam Natha Muni Kurukeshwara Prabhutinam Prak Parigrihita Prapatti Upaya Eka Nishthanam Eva Paschadapi Bhagavat Prasada Labdha Yogika Bhagavat Ananda Aswadasya Prasiddhatva. So before going to the next sentence, we read the title of the paragraph in bold letters. Panchakalika Yoga Shaktau Prapatti Nishtha Virodha Pariharaha. The topic is this Pariharaha, remedial action. So what is the remedial action if we think wrongly? What is our wrong thought? So Prapatti Nishtha Virodha. So do not think, let us not be led to think, let us not be misled to think that the total surrender procedure is opposed to the 5 times action of Pancaratra Agama in a temple. Don't think that Prapatti, total surrender, is disconnected with the 5 times actions of the Pancaratra Agama. Please be clear about the title here, so that now we are going through the 5th one, Yoga Shakta. So does the surrender procedure, does the total surrender procedure hamper the process of the Yoga Shakti, that is power of meditation, in the case of the Panchakala Prakriya, 5 time action in the Pancharatra Agama? That is the question here. So now we have to take remedial action. If at all we think wrongly, it is our fault. It is not the Shastra fault. It is not the scientific fault. It is not the mistake by the sciences. It is not mistake by the Pancharatra tradition. It is not an error relating to Yoga Shakta, especially the last one. Because we are meditating. The physical actions have been over by the 4 previous actions, namely Abhigamanam is you walk to the Sannidhi, you walk to the Sanctum Sanctorum by legs. Kulashekara said, what is the use of your feet? Gacha Angri Yugma Alayam. Gacha, go. Angri Yugma, all the pair of feet. He addresses his own pair of feet. Alayam Gacha, go to the temple. Angri Yugma Alayam Gacha. Gachangri Yugma Alayam. So that is the action, physical action. Go. While you go, of course, mental action is also there. That is, either you say the Ashtakshara mantra, 8 syllable spell in some temples, Dwadashakshara in some temples, and so on. That is also there. But physical action is more important than the mental action. And then again, the second one, Upadana, you go on collecting materials. You remember the meaning of the 2 sentence spell and so on. And Ijja, physically you do all the worship. It's also a service. It's also a service. Christianity also calls it a service. They call it a mass. And when they say the mass, the meaning it also means service. Service only. All the time service only. Because we are all eternal servants also. And therefore, what is the remedial action if we think wrongly that this prapatti total surrender concept is disconnected with the 5-time worship in Pancaratra tradition? Now this sentence. We are now going through the second sentence. So yoga mahima pratyakshita tattatrayana. So when we do our personal meditation, Swa Yoga, we are not worried about the other persons. So we do for ourselves. Swa Yoga. Mahima, we understand the power of the greatness of the meditation. Greatness of the meditation, Yoga Mahima. Now you see the spiritual achievements of great people, either from stories of Puranas or Itihasas or scriptures or smritis or dharma shastras. You remember them, you recall the stories of, for example, Nachiketas asked Lord God of Death, Yama, to teach him the signs of soul, Atma Jnanam. So he gets it. But the Kathopanishad gives us elaborate details of Atma Jnanam. But can we enunciate it? That's the problem. Can we enunciate? We know the greatness. Now we have come to understand this. So pratyakshita. So again, we understand tattvatrayanam. We understand 3 principles, namely tattva, hita, purushartha. There are 3 types of tattvatrayam. So one is tattvam. Tattvam is, you understand that Vishishtadvaitam is the right concept. Tattvam is tatritvam. That Lord is you. That means you are the Lord. Rather, Lord is you. In the sense, so we have a lot of similarities between us, namely the individual soul and the supreme soul. So tatritvam. So tattvam is principle in Tamil. Tattvam is philosophical principle is understood as the meaning of the word tattvam in Tamil. But that is not the only meaning here. That is philosophy. This is philosophy. Of course, this is philosophy. Philosophy, as we call it in Sanskrit, along with the Tamil term, Vedanta. Vedanta becoming the Upanishad. So the last part of the scripture is Upanishad. So Upanishad is called Jnana Kandam. And therefore, the Upanishad should help us to understand the Lord better. So Tattva. Then second is Hita. What is favorable to us? Hita is Lord's blessing coming to us every now and then. So Hita has got a lot of details. We will take it up later. Then Purushartha that we know as 4 Purusharthas. And the 5th Purushartha is also what they call service. So Dharma, duty, what they call righteousness. Dharma is righteousness, just administration, charity, and good behavior, doing meritorious actions. All is called dharma. And then artha, what we call the economic action, earning for dharma, earning for doing duty. Do the duty and earn. And then kama. This kama is different from ordinary kama, namely the worldly desire. So this desire is noble desire. The noble desire is called doing service. And that is the only desire that we must possess normally. And then lastly, moksha. Moksha also meaning service. The very surrender, as Swami Vedanta Deshika says in his Nyasa Vimshati, the very surrender is service. When we get the chance, golden chance to do the prapatti, surrender to the preceptor, the what we call the human preceptor in different ways, itself is the moksha, itself is emancipation. We feel that we are free from the cycle of birth and death. So now whom should we follow? In order to understand these three principles, whom should we follow? First, Nathamuni. Doesn't mean this name doesn't mean that there were no predecessors for Nathamuni. Nathamuni, Prathama Upajnam, we say. This Vishishtadvaita principle has been propagated. It has been propagated, has been brought to light by Nathamuni. Nathamuni's works are lost. Yoga Ragasyam is there. There are two more books. Nigama Parimalam is there. But we get only pieces of these portions of these two books. But still, Vedanta Deshika's quotations in his philosophical books, Ragasya Granthas, will give us some information about Nathamuni. The very word Nathamuni, Natha being leader, Muni being sage, is a leader sage. It's a rather, what you call, sobriquet. Sobrique. It's a sobriquet. It's not an original name. And then Kurukeshwara also is not an original name. It belongs to the place. Kurugai Piran Pillan. So Kurukeshwara is there. So these two great preceptors must be followed. So Prabhriti Nam. So we have got other preceptors also. So we have got Yamunacharya, Alavandar, then Ramanujacharya, then with regard to Vadagalai Sampradaya, Swami Vedanta Deshika, with regard to Tennacharya Sampradaya, Manavala Mamuni, and so many others. And Nathamuni, Kurukeshwara, Prabhutina. Prak. No, that's what I was telling you now. Now we are going to the age before Nathamuni and Kurukeshwara. Let us not forget them. Let us imagine that the concept has been given by them, by the predecessors of Nathamuni and Kurukeshwara. So that has been accepted by Nathamuni and Kurukeshwara. Therefore, Parigrihita is accepted with all hearts. Prapatti Upaya. So the total surrender concept has been accepted by Nathamuni and Kurukeshwara from their predecessors. If you want to ask me who are those predecessors, can you mention the names? Yes. Ennuyir Tandalittavarai, my father, Ennuyir Tandalittavarai, Sharanam Pukki. So prostrate before your parents. So Sharanam Pukki, Yan Adaiven, we reach. I say it in plural, Yan Adaiven, Avar Kurukan. So you go on to the preceptors clan, Parampara. The lineage of the preceptors, Aval Kurukan Nirai Vanangi, Pinnarulal. Their grace is very important in order that we prostrate before those preceptors. So Pinnarulal Perumbudur Vandavallal. Now we are going from the latest to the farthest, rather the first. So Pinnarulal Perumbudur Vandavallal, Periya Nambi, all in Tamil, Alavandar, Yamunacharya, Manakal Nambi, Nannari Avar Kurita, Uyakondar is another name. Nathamuni. Then before Nathamuni, who is that? Shatagopan, Nammalva. Nathamuni Shatagopan. இன்னமுதத் திருமகள் என்று goddess Mahalakshmi and எம்பெருமான் திருவடிகள் அடைகின்றேன். We have to go to the divine feet of Lord Shiman Narayan. So this is the Saninathan, Vishwaksena. Okay, sorry. Nammalvar Saninathan, because Nammalvar is the incarnation of Saninathan, and therefore in Nakalambi, Nannari Vikanda Nathamani, Shatagopan, Saninathan, Innamada Tirmahal and Rivari Muniti, Emberman Thirudi. So the first preceptor, the first initial preceptor is Lord himself. And he himself is the upaya. He himself is the means to attain the liberation. So now the concept has been propounded by the predecessors of Nathamani. Therefore, Parigrihita Prapatti Upaya Ekanishthanamev. They concentrated only on this. They were very intent upon, I-N-T-E-N-T, intent upon this concept only. So, Ekanishtanam. So, we call them Parame Kantinaha in Sanskrit. Param Eka Antinaha. Parame Kantinaha. They have got only one single purpose in their life, and that is total surrender. And that total surrender concept has been followed by them because of the predecessors. Paschadapi, later to Nathamani and Kurukeshwara. Bhagavat Prasada. Again, every time we remember the grace is important. Lord's blessing is very important. So Bhagavat Prasada Labdha. So if we all can do yoga as the fifth prakriya every day, meditating on the Lord. So it is because of the compassion of the Lord. It is because of the pity, sympathy taken by him for our sake. And therefore, so Bhagavat Prasada Labdha, Yogika, so we are able to see union of the individual soul with the Paramatma, Supreme Soul, Yogika. Then what do we get by joining the individual soul to the Supreme Soul? Ananda. What kind of bliss? Bhagavad Ananda as equal to his bliss, his pleasure. So Bhagavad Ananda. Then we feel the enjoyment of Aswadas. We relish it. It is delectable. So Bhagavad Ananda Aswadasya Prasiddhatvad. Everybody says that it is very sweet. It is the sweetest, they say. How do we understand? From the earthly things to the spiritual matter, we must have level of enjoyment. The greatest level of enjoyment is by joining ourselves with the Lord. Now, Prasiddhatvat, it is very popular. It's very popular. Enjoyment of the individual soul for the sake of Supreme Soul. Please understand, our enjoyment is to make the Lord happy. So pleasing the Lord is our aim. And we must aim at only pleasing the Lord and not our selfish pleasure also. So our pleasure is tuned with the pleasure of the Lord. When he is happy, we are happy. When he is angry, we have to suffer. So Prasiddhatvat, popularity. Then Anyatha, otherwise. Suppose you think this in another way. Tatha Vida Anusandhana. You go on meditating continuously in that type, namely in this what you call strain. Tatha Vida Anusandhana Purvaka. So preceded by our continuity in meditation on this aspect. Now what do you go? What do you rely on? Now what do you depend on? Bhashyakara Ukta. So take the Nitya Grantha of Sri Ramanujacharya. Bhashyakara Ukta, said by Sri Ramanujacharya. Samaradhanadi Shaktau. Do we follow the procedure prescribed in Sri Ramanujacharya? You say yes. When you say yes, have you got the power of grace from the law preceptor? Yes. So you feel it so. You feel it so. I personally felt a little. I don't say I didn't feel it. No, nor I say I could feel it completely. I feel it a little. So Adi Shakta, Adi, etc. Not only Samaradhanam includes the Panchakala Prakriya of the Pancaratra Agama. You go to a temple as a priest and do all the actions prescribed, and then you feel happy. You feel happy. That happiness is maximum when you are involved deeply. And therefore you have a power to do it. Adi Shakta. The power that you got already by the grace of God induces you to do further service, encourages you to do further service. Therefore, tasyapi upaya svikara prasanga. Again, please remember, Lord is responsible for your interest. Lord is responsible for your deep involvement. So tasya upayatva, tasya api upayatva. Now remember, we have a lot of ways to approach God. This is one way. Pancaratra Agama is one way. Going and worshipping in the temple as a priest is one way. So that means main ingredient is Lord, and these are all subsidiaries. Ancillary ways of doing worship to the Lord. So tasya api upayatva svikara prasangat. In the context of doing all our service in this temple procedure, we remember tasyapi. In everything, his hand is seen. H capital. Lord Sriman Narayana's hand is seen everywhere. Tat chet, if it is so. Again, it is not a big if, it's a small if. One example I give you from personal experience. I was invited to Waukesha area of Wisconsin in USA, and on the Hayagriva Jayanti day, I was asked to use honey for Tirumajjanam. Honey for Tirumajjanam of Hayagriva. That is one small example of Lord's grace. Who will get it? Just for 1.5 months. Just for 1.5 months. I was given the return ticket within 1.5 months to my relatives. So I got the opportunity. But do we do this now here? No. And can I do this now here? We have no intention to do it. We have no inclination to do it. The next opportunity has not come. So tatachet, if it is so. Swami Kainkarya Rupam. Remember, that is the form of service to the Lord. Master. When you say Lord, you may understand differently. So Master, Swami Kainkarya Rupam. This is a form of service to the Master. The Master is a tyrant, but we love him. Kodungol Mannan, Tikshna Dandadharaha, Swami Deshika calls him Tikshna Dandadharaha. He holds a staff in his hand to punish the guilty then and there. But he is soft. He is tender in feelings. And therefore, so Swami, the Master, must be served. How do you do it? Swadu tamataya. We already saw the word asvadasya in the previous sentence, and therefore we have to understand that it is the sweetest. Swadu tamataya. Tama is superlative degree. Swadu is delectable, which can be relished very beautifully. So swadu tamataya. Our feeling must be total involvement with the blessings of the Lord. So swadu tamataya. Now what do? We are not selfless. Swayam prayojana tvena. Swayam prayojana tvena. We have something in our mind. In doing service, out of the 4 purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, we have a big list also. So praying to the Lord to do the duty also is very important. How many of us can do that? So swayam prayojanam tvena. So it's a selfish purpose. Upadiyata. First you start it with a selfish motive. Once you begin with a selfish motive, you end with a selfless motive. Because as a temple priest, you have to propitiate the Lord in order to please Him and grant the favor to the devotees who attend the temple. So you start it with a selfish purpose. I get salary as a priest. ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா சொன்னா ரொம்ப சில்லியா சொன்னா தட்டு காசு. Many temples have allowed the priest to have tattu kasu. A plate is held by the priest in the hand, and people offer the smallest amount of money or the greatest amount of money. So the money, the note, the rupee note or the dollar note, I saw in New York, Pomona, Ranganatha temple, all old coins in the hundi of Srinivasa Sannidhi. In the Venkateshwara Sannidhi, which also I worshipped by Aradhanam. So I saw coins, what we call the minimum coin. The minimum coin I had, I think Keshadas Swami will tell me, the minimum coin. And also the 1 rupee note, which is soiled. $1 note, which is soiled. So I thought that people are everywhere same. When we offer something to the Lord, penny. Yeah, I had a lot of pennies. The whole hundi has been filled up with only pennies there, and therefore that was very curious. That was a curious scene. That means we don't respect God. We don't give new notes, fresh notes. Yeah, not good coins. Yeah, old coins. So you have. So this is why. So you go for a selfish purpose. But again, you offer something which you don't want. You should not offer. And again, so start like this. Then samadho api ayam. Oh yeah. The torn notes. They give torn notes also. So samadho api ayam. In the meditation, samadho meaning samadhi meaning meditation. Samadho api ayam. This concept in the meditation also, namely yoga. We are talking of yoga, please remember. The 5th one. Samadhika daridra sukha sandehatmani samaha samadhi. Vedanteshika says, rather humorously, samadhi, meditation, whether you do it with a lot of interest, without without selfish interest, or with selfish interest, both are same, he said. Samaha samadhi. What is the way in which most of us do is, we have a doubt, we have apprehension whether we get blessings of the God. Main apprehension, main doubt, main fear Fear. Fear is that whether we will get the blessings of the Lord. And what will be the blessing? What nature of blessing will be there? So, what do? So, we are talking about the spelling is printing mistake is there, Keshavdas Swami, in the last but one sentence. It is not samadhika, samadhika. Samadhika daridra. You can show the point of the word. So the samadha samadhika. That is not samadhika. So there is no one equal to the Lord. Samadhika. There is no one equal to the Lord. So daridra. He has a poverty. Lord has a poverty because there is no one. I think, sorry, it is not a printing mistake, but there is no one equal to the Lord, and therefore he is poor. Lord is poor because he has no equal person. He has no one usurping him, no one above him, no one succeeding him, and therefore he is a poor man. Lord is a poor soul because he has no equal. He has no friends equal to him. He has no one exceeding him. Samadhika daridra. Samadhika daridra. So we know about him. He is the greatest person. But still, what do? Sandeha. Sorry, not sandoha. Sorry, sandoha. So we have. Sorry, I think I made a wrong concept. Sukha sandohatmi. Sandoha is collection. Sandoha is collection. Sukha sandoha is collection of happiness, collection of bliss. Though he is poor, he is happy. Wow, in what way he is poor? He has no equals. He has no people who can excel him, who can surpass him, who can overpower him. Sukha sandeha atmani, sandoha atmani. So our soul has got a lot of pleasure that the Lord has no equal and Lord has no superior. So samaha samadhi. So our equanimity in meditation should be understood as we must realize the nature of the Lord, namely, he has no equals and he has no superiors. I think leave out those sentences. I think S2, ESCHEW. When I said doubt, fear. So prapanna anugunancha yogikam anusandhanam shandilya smritau uchyate. So we are going to see in the next session what Shandilya Smriti says. Shandilya is the name of a sage, and he is giving a book called Shandilya Smriti. Smriti, out of the 28. So it is said there, Uchyate, it is said. What about, what is that? What is the connection of the total surrendery with yoga type of prakriya? How does a surrendery do the meditation? Is there any difference? Is there any difference? If at all an individual soul has not surrendered to the Lord, that means he has not taken samashrayanam or bharanyasa from the preceptor, human preceptor. If he goes to a temple as a priest, what will be the nature of his fifth prakriya, namely yaugika anusandha? It is explained in Shandilya Smriti. So we will have to stop here so that
சுவாமி ஒரு
சொல்லுங்க.
நேரத்துல அப்பா போயிட்டான்னு காரியம் நடக்கணும். அந்த பையன் பிரம்மச்சாரி, வயசானவன், அதாவது 40 வயசு 45 பிரம்மச்சாரி. அந்த வாத்தியார் என்ன சொன்னார், நீ சமாசனம் பண்ணிக்கலன்னா நான் உனக்கு மொத்த நாள் காரியம் பண்ண மாட்டேன்ட்டார். முடியாதுன்ட்டார். நீ சமாசனம் பண்ணிக்கலன்னா காரியம்லாம் பண்ண மாட்டேன்.
அப்ப யார் பண்றது?
இல்ல நீ சமாசனம் பண்ணிக்காத இதெல்லாம் பண்ணா அந்த பாவம் எனக்குடாங்கிறார் அவர்.
சரி, ஒன்லி சன்னா இருந்தா இல்ல அந்த இம்மீடியட்டா அந்த காரியம் யார் நான் பண்றது? புல்லு வாங்கி வாத்தியார்
இல்ல
பண்ணுவாரா?
இல்ல 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 அவரு அதாவது இல்ல அவருடைய அர்த்தம் என்னன்னா, இப்ப நான் பண்ணி இப்ப நான் பண்ணி வச்சிடுறேன். நீ 10 நாள் இந்த 13 நாள் ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் நீ சமாதானம் பண்றதா மாச கைக்கு வருவேன். The intention is
importance of
you cannot ignore the minimum level of your purity. அந்த ரிச்சுவல்ஸ் ஒரு ஆச்சாரம், உனக்கு ஆச்சாரம் யாரும் தெரியாது, நீ என்ன பண்ண போற?
I was discussing yesterday Swayamacharya Purusha families, Swayamacharya families now being the eldest eligible Acharya is not available in the family, then they have to resort to some other preceptor.
Acharya.
And that is, and since, thank you very much for.
Swami, I got one doubt. நீங்க சொல்லிருந்த போது when you were talking about soul, our soul, no, it is his soul. Soul cannot be of his, because my soul is of mine. It is his body. That is how I can interpret, because my soul is my soul. It is his body. That normally Bhagavan's entire Cheta Chetana soul is his body. இல்லையா?
அதுதான் நமக்கு இந்த மாயா comes and deludes our mind. We say that the body belongs to us, the soul belongs to us, nothing belongs to us. Our body is made up of Panchabhutas. Panchabhutas are under the control of the Lord.
Somebody is having one doubt. No, somebody is having doubt. Ranganatha, please.
Yeah, Ranganatha, you can ask.
Swami Aryan. I have a technical doubt. Right, technical. I don't know if it's technical, but I have a doubt.
The whole topic is technical. Okay.
So I was thinking, those who don't know their ancestors, those who don't know their forefathers, or those who have been orchestrated by the family, but have taken shelter in the Lord or in the Sampradaya and got some ashram, how do they do this? How do they know? How do they upkeep in the tradition? So they're either been orchestrated, so they've been isolated, or they're orphans, but by Perumal's Kripa, they have come to his lotus feet. How do they connect to, how do they do tarpana? How do they do the daily things? That is my idea.
So attach yourself to a preceptor and do it. Choose somebody, some human being whom you know as the best of the lot. It is not the best, and therefore the problem is around you. You get a good soul, rather good human being who can guide you in all ways, who will not misguide you. That's more important. So take the recourse to approach him and then understand. Now, as you said, practically,
no, daily rituals. First, Gotham is important. Again, for Tarpanam, the tradition of family tree is important. So his doubt.
He says he is ignorant of anything about ancestors.
That's right. No, that is right. In that case, how you will start with?
That is why. So you approach a preceptor in the Sampradaya tradition, which you do not know. You yourself do not know the tradition, whether you are Vadagalai or Tengalai, for example. So we don't go to Advaiti preceptor, because he is after Lord Shiva. And so once we decide that Sriman Narayana is our first preceptor. For example, I will give you an example of Keshav Swami himself. Keshav Swami took to Tengalai Sampradaya. Why? He believed it. he confided in it and he follows it. That's all. Very simple. I see. Of course I have freedom to choose Vadagale. No problem. No problem. But he was attracted by the concepts of Tengalai and joined that. Otherwise, and he loves also the Vadagalai.
No, he is having equal and Vadagalai Sampradaya, whatever Acharyas. It is more important.
Yes, that's
It
why,
is not
that's
that
why he said
he has chosen
he,
it. He has chosen it.
Mm.
But he's got all regards of all
Right.
Acharyas. That is more
that's what
important.
he loves Vadagalai concepts also. And the question of Ranganatha Priyadasan is very simple. Approach a preceptor whom you can judge as the right man to help you. That is, as you said, practically good question. Daily activities. Daily activities. When you are involved in daily activities by which you must be guided, try to find out online. Try to find out online again. No problem.
And also, why I asked this, sorry to interrupt this question, is like we go in some ashrams and they don't have any parents. And they feel a bit like when you talk about the Sampradaya, they feel like, oh, how do I know my, which Gotra, how forefathers. So when you're trying to preach, those questions come up, like how am I going to be connected? So, to get them into any Sampradaya.
For example, I tell you my own experience. My grandfather was doing Thiruvaradhanam. And I was, though little grown boy, I didn't observe the exact procedure adopted by him. Therefore, what could I do? The minimum that I could do is take a book which says, according to Vadagalai Sampradaya, what is Thiruvaradhanam. So you go on, then you start reading what we call a brief book, a small book. Then you go to big book like what we call Arnika Grantham, which will be given what we call the information by Kesavadas, which has been written by our Acharya, 45th Pontiff. So you go on improving your process. So you go from the simple to the hard way. So once you see a simple way, follow it. That's all. Don't hesitate. Follow.
How he'll adopt the Gotram, Swami. No, you are right. What you are telling is the basic. But what Gotram he will say? Because
no. That's what he says. He has no parents. He has no parents.
No problem. No, that's what I mean. So, if that is the case, which Gotram he will adopt? Suppose if it is new to him, any Acharya can give him any new Gotram.
Yeah, definitely. So we have what we call Jabali's story in Upanishads. A lady, what we call unwed mother. Unwed mother takes her son to the sage, and what Jabali? I forgot that what Jabali. So he doesn't know the Gotra. Don't worry. The sage will give us the Gotra. The preceptor will give us the Gotra.
Exactly.
Supposing the sacred thread is not one, WORN, then the what you call Vishnu Gotra is given. The word Vishnu Gotra is given. Otherwise, you can take the. Then you have to follow whether it is Traya Rishaya or Pancha Rishaya, 3 sages or 5 sages. And we can choose the Gotra from the list also. It is very easy. And can we do it? His question is, can we follow somebody strictly on his advice? Yes, you can. I mean, go to a particular preceptor and stick to the preceptor. Don't again deviate from that and then go to some other preceptor. You find that somebody is better than this preceptor. But what I would say is take the advice, adopt the procedure better in the same, from the same preceptor. We need not, of course, chastise the preceptor whom we found as long in a little way. And therefore, let us avoid blaming him or accusing him that he doesn't know certain things. So you become better in your approach by consulting some other people also, and also books. Books are our best companions. And if the book is
Swami,
the book is not,
small,
wait.
small
The
request.
book is not good. For example, he said tarpanam, the word tarpanam. I am very happy to see an exact question. So when he said tarpanam, I see a lot of what you call websites giving me the tarpanam in Tamil, English, Sanskrit, and so on. So I know only these three languages. So when I see that, there are so many mistakes there. In Tamil, I see so many mistakes there. But when I went through some websites, I chose the better. It is not the best, but I chose the better. And therefore, I followed it. So whenever there is a wrong sentence, spelling error, and then I correct it myself. I don't correct the. I mean, I can't correct the website. So I get it. And then I see now one small point in procedure. It's only what you call tantram, as you say, not mantram. It is tantra. So while circumambulating the place of darba grass after finishing the tarpanam for the ancestors, you go around it 3 times. Three times pradakshina. You go clockwise circumambulation around the darba grass. The website says have the sacred thread as upavitam and not prachinavitam. You understand, I think, upavitam and prachinavitam is a crisscross. The sacred thread should be a normal position, and if it is done for ancestors, it should be in the opposite direction. That is, as you see a mirror in your the face, when you see your face in a mirror, this is little different. The left is right, right is left there. And therefore, so it will be on the right shoulder. The sacred thread will be on the right shoulder while we perform obsequies to the ancestors, tarpanam to them. The book says, when you go for a pradakshanam, have it as upavita and not prachinavita. And whom should we follow? The question is, so what do we do? What mantras we do? What mantras we say? That is why more important. That while saluting the ancestors, that's the last part of the tarpanam. While saluting the ancestors, we have to remember what should we do. So in this small point of doubt, you consult some other people. And one more doubt.
What is your conclusion?
My conclusion is the Upavitam way of wearing the sacred thread is right.
Right, that is right. That because okay, right.
No. Let us see. No. The another doubt came to mind. Another doubt in the sense it's only what you call time factor. Time factor. Okay. Now I say name of my father, name of my grandfather, name of my great grandfather. So 3 times each. And the mantra also, for the 9 times mantras also, we say 1 time. 9 mantras will be said 1 time. And the name of the father, grandfather, and great-father will be said 3 times each. I learnt it from Ananta Narasimhacharya, ANC Swami. I consulted him. I told him, should we say the mantra 3 times and then say the father? For example, we say, Angirasona Pitaro, Navagvatharo, Vivaswamyasa. So that we say that should you say the mantra again and again 3 times and then offer to the father? And again 3 times, for example, Pitrubhyas Swadabhyas Swadanamaha, Pitamahebhyas Swadabhyas Swadanamaha, Prapitamebhyas Swadabhyas Swadanamaha, Akshan Pitaraha. Should we say this 3 times and then say the grandfather's name? No, he said no. Only 1 time mantra and 3 times names of ancestors. So these are all some simple, what you call, change in procedures. And the joke will be a priest in Chennai was guiding my relative. And then my relative said to me when he came to perform his tarpanam in my house, then I guided him. And he said, he took only 10 minutes for the whole tarpanam. You are taking half an hour for the tarpanam. He was saying, so he said, so you did not say even grandfather's name, father's name, and great grandfather's name. You say Tarpayami, Tarpayami, Tarpayami.
No, not the Swami. It is not like that. No, you need not take their name. It is not necessary. You say Pitrupita, Pitamaha.
Okay,
That
okay.
you, because if you say yours, Mama Pitru, Pitamaha, Mama Matamaha, that itself, without name, it goes to them only.
No, of course. No, he doesn't say all these things. He says the last word, Tarpayami. He says the last word, Tarpayami.
What they are more efficient.
So brief, so brutally brief. And therefore, so what should you do in that context? You follow the priest and the sin goes to the priest. the wrong way of doing goes to the result of wrongdoing goes to the priest. And finally, we have what we call prayashchitam. So we say 3, I mean, 2 verses, I shall tell you just now. In Shraddham, in the annual ceremony of the ancestors, we say
Bhagavan Saniyami. Bhagavan Saniyami.
That is Satvika Tyaga. That means the Lord has done the mistake. No, that is not that. I shall say. Prayashchittani asheshani tapak karma atmakani vai. Yani tesham asheshanam krishnanusmaranam param. Again we say kriyalope. You can you give another one? Say mantra lope, kriya lope, and so on. Vastu lope. And we have also another one. Yattudantu mayadeva paripurnam tadasnute. So while we say the name of Lord Krishna, everything, every sin is washed off. So we make a lot of mistakes. Vidhi viparyasa, nyuna atireka. We said less mantra. We deleted some syllables. We said extra syllables. Then so we have not followed rules. We have gone against the rules. See, there are too many things, too many errors committed in between. Commissions and omissions accepted. So that is meaning. So because there are so many prayashchitta words at the end. For example, when we say Vishnu Sahasranamam, last word we say Yadakshara Padabhrashtam Matra Hinantu Yadhave. Tat Sarvam Shamyatam Deva Narayana Namostute. Visarga Bindu Matrani Pada Padaksharani Cha. Wantonly we committed mistakes and we want excuse. So knowingly we committed errors and then we want excuses. Bindu Matrani Pada Padaksharani Nyunani Cha Atiriktani Kshamasva Purushottam. So these are all some what we call prayashchitta, parihara, remedial actions so that our actions will be complete and Lord will not get angry. In fact, Lord will be pleased. So this is. So again, the most important, as he said, the tarpanam, and tarpanam is for avoiding our curses from our ancestors. our position is good because of ancestors' blessings. And our position is precarious because of ancestors' curses. Because parents have not been taken care of by children. Today it's very rampant. Parents have not been taken care of by children. And therefore, the curse, though they in their heart of hearts want to bless the children, but the inner heart says, you have been cheated, you have been insulted, and therefore it is out of voluntary feeling. I mean, without their control, hampers the progress of the children. The next one. And that's why we do some remedial action, going to a temple, worshipping, then performing some homa, yaga, and so on. Prayaschitta homa, prayaschitta yaga. So many things. Even when we say our planets in our horoscope disturb us, we have to propitiate them. And therefore, we are doing so many things as remedial action.
Swami, க்ஷமிக்கணும் ஒரு கிளாஸுக்கு போனோம்.
Right. That's why in order to answer the doubt of Rangat Priyadasa.
Thank you, sir.
Follow someone whom you feel that is more perfect than others.
No, you take more guidance from Keshava Swami. After that, you go to the bridge. That is because he can guide you in the right way. You choose your
He is the nearest consultant, and then
yes, indeed,
one of best expert.
He is one of our Shaikha.
Best consultant, and he will suggest you a good consultant also.
Yes.
So that if he is nearby, you can. If you are far off from Keshavadas, then you have to find someone nearby.
Ramanuja Dayapatram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathāryam Vande Vedanta Desikam Kavitākika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. Vaditi Vipashiro Bhanga Panjajanya Parakramaha Shriman Venkatanadharyas Shiram Vijayatam Bhuvi.
Sriramnatupal Vitiruvenkatamuriyan Paronrachonna Paramoriyul Orannatane Yamayot Yato Taranil Valvarka Yanera Pomalavam Balva.
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय வேதாந்த குரவே நமஹ. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம்